where you can make millions of dollars. Last week, I made $47 million off of my bets. Do you want to make $47 million? Good. Look at this video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, and send me your email. And you just gotta give me $50, and I'll show you how to make $80 million with our bets this week. Alex and Frost, how you guys doing today?
Hey, doing great, man. I'm just glad that I was able to show up tonight.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess us too as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
That was good. I mean, we were waiting.
Hey, I'm
Right?
I'm
Yeah.
just really glad that I can be here today.
Okay.
I'm just
Mhm.
very what's the word? Gifted.
Horny.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
that's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
blessed. Blessed is the
Okay.
Yeah,
word I was thinking.
How you doing, Frost?
doing good, man. Had a good weekend betting, and came out about 6 or 7 units ahead. So I was pretty
Mhm.
happy about that. Just lost,
I made a
unfortunately, our
total
lock
of
of the week.
point
So.
0.3 units this weekend. It was
Yes.
I'm glad all of the effort and time I put into it to win a total of point
Did,
0.3.
did you did you do better than 8 and 18?
Yeah,
Waited.
I
Yeah.
went like
Oh,
12 and
Yeah.
15 this week.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
so
Okay, that's nice.
doing
Okay.
great.
Once again, if you want to win $100 billion, like the video, we're gonna show you guys how to do it. You just gotta send us 10 grand, and you're gonna get all of our secret picks. Let's get this party started with Week 8. A lot of great games last week, and I guess as we go through these teams, we'll talk about a little bit about last week. First game, Green Bay at Arizona. Look, off rip, no Devontae Adams, no Alan Lazard. There is no J.J. Watt. I believe our Cardinals super fan friend had said that
Who?
DeAndre Hopkins is questionable. His name is Robert Nicholas Gray. But that being said, I never want to go into a bet like this not thinking that Aaron Rodgers can't cover. So I'm gonna probably go money line Cardinals to win the game, but I like Aaron Rodgers to cover the 6.5. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, this is one of those early lines that I picked. I was kind of telling y'all earlier. I did a teaser with the Packers and the Bengals. Packers plus 10. This is pre-COVID, but I got Packers plus 10 and Bengals minus 3. That was a line I really loved. I'm still happy with it, but I'm a little upset in the fact that the line moved and I could have got him almost to like 14 now. But yeah, I agree with you here. I don't know how you can kind of go against Aaron Rodgers. Those Thursday night games are kind of weird. I almost think
Mm-hmm.
you should be able to kind of throw a little bit of money at the Packers money line. I think you can kind of see Aaron Rodgers might be like, fuck it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on my YouTube channel, but fuck it.
Oh,
Uh,
oh
I
wow.
don't got my receivers. I'm still gonna show y'all. I'm gonna shit on this fucking Kyler Murray kid and
Mm-hmm.
win the game. So yeah, I don't know why the line moved 3.5. I mean, I don't think Devonte Adams is worth that many points. I think Robert even kind of said that himself. You know how Robert does. He's just oh, I told you so. Cardinals, I told you so. Packers, but yeah, Packers are my play. I think both sides are good with the spread and even a little dicey on the money line.
Rusty?
Yeah, on this one, I like the matchup between the two. Obviously, offensively, even if Aaron Rodgers doesn't have all of his weapons, it's going to come down to who controls the ball last. Is what I see this at. I
Mm-hmm.
like the. I'm leaning towards the Packers. I haven't put any money on this game just because of the COVID outbreak and everything, but yeah, I like the Packers if you're doing money or doing the spread. Money line, obviously you may go towards the Cardinals on this one. I think Aaron Rodgers can definitely keep it close. Not saying that the Packers will win, and especially being in Arizona, I believe, for this game. So the over under is what, 50.5. I may even lean more towards the money line than I would, or the over under than I would the actual spread. But yeah, I could see this game definitely could go over 50.5 with the two offenses that they have there, and considering the wins that the Packers have had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, haven't been all too like amazing. When they do face a good QB like Joe Burrow, they seem to struggle. So I could definitely see the Packers struggling a little bit, but you give me 6.5. I believe in Aaron Rodgers being able to
All
keep
right.
it close.
I just
All
want to
right.
say something quick. I remember earlier today in our group text, someone was like, "Who are the top 5 defenses?" And dude, the Cardinals have only allowed like 17 points per game or something like that. And I don't want to say their
Mhm.
schedule's been crazy tough or anything, but I was pretty shocked to see that they were even up there in that discussion. Like that's all I
Yeah,
kind of want to say.
it's the front seven. It's a very athletic front seven, along with Buda Baker.
Simmons
Um,
is coming out like strong now.
yeah. And the Packers, they might not have a top five defense, but it's a pretty good defense nonetheless. The Packers. So it's funny you were saying the over, Ross. I kind of like the under, honestly. Um, um, but we move on. Um, Rams at Houston. I'm going to just not even think about it. It's at minus 14 Rams. I'm fading the Houston Texans. Just lost Mark Ingram. Of course, he wasn't like, the second coming or anything, but still a piece of the puzzle that they just gave up on. Minus 14, Davis Mills not going to be able to do anything against um, the uh, the Rams defense. Alex.
Yeah, I was kind of gonna wait on to see on who the QB was gonna be. That honestly would flip my decision on who to pick here. But after seeing the whole like Mark Ingram trade with like I don't know if y'all saw Brandon Cook's tweet, how he's all
Yeah.
pissed off. But I think that
Yeah.
kind of has like a big kind of saying on like how the organization's going. They're just completely. We already kind of knew this, but I mean they're throwing in the white flag. They're kind of saying that he's like the leader of the team, and the fact that your leaders kind of just like fuck this season, like I want to trade already is kind of proving that yeah, you can't bet on them, man. I'm probably gonna bet them to have the worst record in the NFL. 14, I feel comfortable with. Rams 14.
For Austin?
Yeah, definitely leaning the Rams on this one. I think the Rams were a little surprised how close the Lions played it last week. So I think they actually come
Mhm.
out guns blazing and absolutely curb stomp the Texans. I think this line could go all the way up to like 17.5, and I would still pick the Rams. I think they're gonna come out swinging, and obviously with the trade of Ingram and everything like that, it really is not a good look for the Texans. And I think the most things they're excited about is what they're going to get from the Dolphins for Deshaun Watson. That's what they're looking forward to. That's all they have right now. I think they honestly just need to pretty much throw in the white flag for every game. I don't think there's any game left on their schedule that they can win. But that's yeah, I would definitely go in the Rams on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it was Tyrod Taylor, I would probably lean Texans, but I would feel that people like it. Like we don't know if Tyrod's gonna play, but I would feel in the back of my head, like the coaching staff wouldn't even want to play him because if he wins games, that's gonna hurt them at this point, given the draft positions and whatnot. But um, let's see, Steelers at Cleveland. I got minus 3.5 for Cleveland Browns at the moment. Real quick, I don't know if there's been any. Um, Baker's not going to get surgery on that shoulder, so I think he's just going to try to let it heal gradually. With that being said, Case Keenum having a full-on week with it being his team, Nick Chubb possibly coming back. You have the Steelers defense that is playing like pretty well at this point. Still, unfortunately, have Big B, and that's just kind of just going through the motions. Kind of feels like slow offense, but I like the minus 3.5 for the Browns because I think they're going to be able to run the ball successfully, have a good play action game, and get ahead pretty quickly. Alex.
Uh, Ben Roethlisberger is the third QB or worse on the field um, in regards to Keenum and Baker being better than him.
Mm.
I've seen all I had to see from Ben Roethlisberger. I've been defending him most of his life, but he's washed at this point. He needs to just retire. Um, I took Browns -3 right when the line came out, just because I figured the sharps would be on the Brown side. At 3.5 though, I think I would kind of lean Steelers. Like I wouldn't bet anymore. Just I think this game screams like 20-17, Browns win. But yeah, like I said, my play already was Browns 3.5. Maybe start kind of considering Steelers here, but I think the Browns just all around seem to have like a better, probably just better team in general, and maybe the Steelers come out hot with the bye week with Tomlin and all that, but I don't know. Browns are my slight play.
Okay, Frosty.
Yeah, so on this one, obviously, I'm going to go Steelers. You give me 3.5 points. That is the one thing I love the most. Tomlin's going to come out, obviously, with a really good game plan, especially after a bye week and having to, pretty much yell at reporters like, "I'm not leaving the NFL to go to USC." So I think he's going to come out with a good game plan. Ben obviously is not in his prime, but I do believe in our defense to be able to give Baker fits. I think they will put Baker in to begin the game, and I think it'll be something injury related or either poor performance by him, where they pull him out and put Case Keenum in. But I do I like the Steelers. Everybody's healthy for the Steelers right now, which is super nice. Obviously, Juju, he's not coming back for the rest of the season, but we did get Anthony McFarland back, so I'm really happy with what we have going into this game. So it's mainly an injury report thing. They have a lot of players on the injury report right now. It looks like Malik Jackson did not participate. You have Richard LeConte actually was disciplined from the team, so didn't participate. Jarvis Landry didn't participate. So I'm liking the Steelers just for the health reasons going into this game, and the Browns kind of have to make a decision on Baker soon. So this will maybe one of his make or break games. So
Yeah, I'm seeing right now that Baker didn't practice Monday or Tuesday. I think they're going to make a
I don't think
decision
him
thing.
playing makes any movement on the line, honestly, in my opinion. Maybe he's worth like
Okay.
a point, but I don't know.
All right. Next, hold on a second. Next, we got. Well, this is an interesting game. Eagles at Lions. And I've got it at Eagles -3.5. Look, the Lions are a really bad team, and I think the Eagles are just a bad team. But that being said, I think the Eagles know and understand what this. The Lions are out. Like they're done. Like they've had too many
Are the
emotional
Eagles
losses.
not?
The Eagles, I would say, this is the one game that they would have to have that they know in the back of their head can save their season. Any hopes of this season going out positively, it's this game. They can't lose this game, and I think this has to be an energetic game. With that being said, the Lions are bad enough that the Eagles can't cover the -3.5. I just I don't know. After what I'm just gonna go -3.5. I guess there's really no real how do you say analysis you can do about it because they're both pretty
I think
bad
you're
teams.
just more anti-Lions, right?
Yeah, I just think like I said, Lions really bad, Eagles bad, and so I'm
good
just in my head
analysis. I like it.
I'm gonna go with the bad team over the really bad team. So -3.5 Eagles.
Oh man, dude, looking at some of these games, I'm just like, fuck, these teams are so bad, bro. Like, it was so painful to even watch like Sunday and Monday Night Football, man. Like with the rain and everything. Oh god, like what are the QBs combined? Like all those four quarterbacks that played probably combined like 600 yards, like 600 passing yards or something like that. It's just bad play. Um, I'm gonna go Lions +3.5. This is honestly one of my more favorite picks. I think if you flip this and had it at Eagles, Vegas is basically saying that they would be like what 7.5 to like 8 point favorites, and like I just can't see that, man. They're so bad. I think like Miles, you're probably right. Like the Eagles are like a little bit better in my head, but I don't think they're. I don't think the Lions should be this heavily like underdog. Like maybe 2.5 would like be okay, or like two, but I think 3.5 is a little too much. Dude, Hurts. Oh my God, he's so bad, bro. Backup quarterback next year. Like I think they're gonna definitely draft a quarterback. And maybe it's their line's fault, honestly, but he gets like 10 completions a game. He's like overthrowing people. He just looks completely lost out there. Yeah, I'm right in Lions plus 3.5.
All right.
Home dog.
Drastic.
Yeah, once again, it's a home dog, and you're getting the 3.5. You always want to push the rule of thumb when it comes to gambling. You always want to push the 3 and the 7. Those are always the key numbers when it comes to gambling. So if you're going over 3, I want to take the Lions on this one. I'm not confident in either team. I understand what you're saying about the Eagles, kind of this being their last chance to really turn it around. I think if they do lose the Lions, it's over for the season. I think this is Dan Campbell's first win. I don't think the Lions are as bad as people think, or at least in comparison to the Eagles. I think they're closer than what.
I agree.
Like if the Lions were 30th, the Eagles are 26th, maybe. Like they're that close. They're not far apart. So I think it's gonna be a lot closer of a game. And home underdogs, I love taking home underdogs.
Yeah, I guess pretty much my last thing. Like, I was talking to our Eagles friend, Brent, and essentially what we were discussing is how do you know, how can you tell that if it's game planning, Nick Sirianni, their head coach, how do you know it's him as a bad coach, or if you can really actually tell that it's, Jalen Hurts as a bad quarterback. Of course, Jalen Hurts isn't completing certain throws, but maybe it's a game plan that isn't really suited for Jalen Hurts. But with that being said, you both took Lions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Eagles just because, like I said, I think they do have a pretty good defense. Nonetheless, the Eagles, I think they have a good defense. But I also, like I said, I think this is like if they have any choice, any hope, it's gonna be this game. 49ers at Bears.
You don't see the over under for this game?
This is the lowest in the
It's
season
39.5.
And I took the under.
I am. Fuck, dude. I told myself last week after the 49ers lost to the Colts, I'm fading the 49ers. But the Bears are just getting outplayed by everyone that they play. No analysis, no thinking. Jimmy G, if he plays or not, Trey Lance. I guess I just see Debo Samuel making big plays and somehow they win the game. But I don't know. I think Justin Fields is still having a lot of trouble, like going through his progressions and getting the ball out of his hands quickly. He's just getting sacked and getting pressured. Matt Nagy, I don't know if they're doing right things for him. So 49ers minus 3.5. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, I have not been impressed at all with Justin Fields. I had way more hopes for him. I had drafted him in like 2 of my fantasy leagues, just kind of thinking that he was going to be like, that Jalen Hurts type player a little bit, in the sense that, I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is a pretty decent fantasy quarterback at least because he can get garbage time. But I I disagree with you. I think Bears plus 3.5 for the play is the play here. I think the over under even kind of proves that. Like Vegas is kind of saying that this is going to be a low scoring game, and I think with that being said, I think you have to pick the underdog. Um, Once again, this line kind of screams like 20-17 here. Not too sure like who wins the game, but when you get that hook, I think I'm going to favor the Bears. And in the Bears' defense, like here are their losses. It's Rams, Browns, Packers, and Bucks, which are all like pretty good teams. I think they've just had like kind of a tough schedule. I mean, they beat the Bengals, and they beat the Raiders, and those are two pretty good teams, I think. The 49ers look like Jimmy G. He's another one of those QBs that he's on the chopping block for sure. He's looking more
Mhm.
like almost a backup to me. Um, I mean, he got outdueled by fucking Wentz, and y'all already know how I feel about him. So, um, I think Bears 3.5 is the play for me.
On this one, I lean the Bears also. I think they'll come in with a better game plan. We were talking about it already, but my bet on this game is the under on the first half. I think Justin Fields
What's that?
20.
Oh,
So
that's
Oh,
pretty
20
wow.
is
high.
the under. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm taking the under on the first half at 20. Justin Fields going to play more conservative with the ball, especially after throwing the most interceptions he's ever done in a game. So I don't think he'll be chunking the ball down the field too much. 49ers they are failing as a team. I think it's a big letdown season for them, and obviously it comes into question whether or not the coach really is as amazing as people say he is. But right now, San Francisco's 1-5 against the spread. I don't like them on this one at all. I'm actually leaning more towards the Bears just because of their defense being strong enough to keep them in the game
Like to
the
win
whole
straight
time.
up or what?
Yeah, I may take the money line on this one, but it's I like the over under for the first half. I
Uh-huh.
put 2 units on it, so you take that with a grain of salt or whatnot. But all my over unders except for one hit last week, so I was very happy with the way those turned out.
Yeah, one more thing. Right before that Bucks Bears game, I don't even remember which side I picked on the podcast. I think I did Bucks, but I don't remember for sure. I had this huge feeling that like the Bucks were just gonna murder them, man. Because I started thinking about it, and like the Bears' game plan is just run the ball. And when you look at their matchup against the Bucks are so like they're only allowing like 50 yards like per
Mhm.
game in rushing. So they're literally like, "Hey, Justin, you have to throw the ball," which is like the worst quarterback in the NFL to throw the ball right now. So, right, I didn't end up like betting it at all, and I kind of kicked myself on it. But right before the game, I was like, "Dude, they're gonna murder them by like 30 points." And I don't remember what the score was, but it kind of
It
it
was
kind of
bad.
went that way. Yeah.
It was
So
bad.
it was just a horrible matchup. Like you're literally
Mhm.
asking Justin Fields to throw 30 passes against that team. So I just wanted to say that.
Um, here we go.
Yeah, we're just getting some
Falcons.
bad games. Whew. All
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Panthers at
I kind of
Falcons.
said that there's so many just like disgusting teams. I said that in the group text. And I feel like I got flamed for it, but like, man, those Sunday night and it's just like you got Geno Smith. I saw like a meme about it. It was like this should have been Russell Wilson versus Drew Brees, and instead it's Jameis versus
You know.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's just like, damn, man, this is sad right now.
Panthers at Falcons. Falcons -3. Panthers done. I'm done with them.
I'm never betting
Absolutely
them
just
again.
finished. Um, Sam Darnold. We all three of us were talking. Week 1, week 2, week 3. Probably even week 4. We were like, this is different. Sam Darnold. Joe Brady's helping out Sam Darnold. Matt Rule's helping out Sam Darnold. The Jets were a bad fit for Sam Darnold. It's really just looking like Sam Darnold's just a fucking bad quarterback. Like overall, like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No more excuses. Like we all thought the change of scenery, having a defense, having weapons would help him. It just looks like he's not a good quarterback. And so, uh, that being said, I think Arthur Smith and the Falcons, the way they've been beating bad teams lately, this is another bad team that I think they can beat at home. And so, me just fading the Panthers, I'm going to go -3 Falcons.
Yeah, I agree. I had to pick up because I had Dak in like two of my leagues. I had to pick up a fucking quarterback for the week, and I'm so glad I fucking drafted Dak in my fantasy. But I had to pick up Sam Darnold in both of them, thinking that he would do decent against the Giants and put up like fucking 4 points. It got benched against the Giants defense that is not good. So yeah, I already picked this like immediately when I saw the line. I don't even remember what I got it at. It honestly might have been like -1 or something like that. But I don't see how you can like play the fucking Panthers right now. Their schedule, their first 3 games, like it's an eye opener to everyone now. It's like, okay, they just got a lucky schedule, but Vegas is basically saying that these two teams are equal, and I disagree. I think this line should be more like 4.5 for Panthers, or 4.5 Falcons. Sorry. So yeah, I think they should comfortably win.
Yeah, I like what they did this last game. Seems like their offense is finally starting to click. Really getting Kyle Pitts involved. I'm never betting the Panthers again. They fucked me over this last week, so definitely not touching them. At least until Christian McCaffrey comes back.
Right.
Yeah.
You already said it. They kind of had a patty cake beginning schedule. Same with Denver. And then we learned what happened after the next 2 games, kind of what kind of team they were. So they're in the same boat with Denver for me. Like, I'm not going to really bet them unless I see an absolutely amazing line for it. I think Atlanta wins this by at least a touchdown. The only thing I'm concerned about with Atlanta, they haven't really blown out teams. All their games have been
and
they're
choke lords too.
Yeah, they're historic choke lords.
University of Texas of the NFL.
Yeah, I think they win by 7 here, but it's a close 7. Like, it's going to be the game's tight all the way up
Matt
to the
Ryan
end.
game-winning drive, or
it's going to be something like that.
Koo game-winning field goal or something like that.
Koo makes 2 amazing field goals at the end, and he's your MVP of the Falcons. So I'm taking Falcons just to keep it short. I think their offense is finally clicking, and they could be a sneaky team. Just watch them for the rest of the season. But they could be a sneaky team that makes it to the playoffs. They could be a sneaky team to make it.
Yeah. Is McCaffrey worth 20 points? Is that the consensus here? I just remember when they played the Cowboys.
I think
my friends were like, "Well, it's okay. They already put McCaffrey in the line." I was like, "No, man, they're gonna struggle against the Cowboys." But hey, let's just do a quick shout out to Robert, who traded away his #1 pick for a backup running back, and no, I don't even remember who he traded for. But let's just say that I think there's a little more that we don't know about. I want to see a couple emails pulled right there. But I think Justin's got paid off, so that's my opinion on that.
Well, before I go into this next game, Alex, I have a question for you. Who is a better quarterback between Tua Tagovailoa and Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
Why do you say that?
What?
Why would you?
Are you saying something I said or something Robert said?
Alex.
Because I remember you asked that question to everybody, and what I said was all of them look good, but it's too early to tell. Isn't that what I said?
We'll go back to the receipts later on. You had Tua better than Joe Burrow.
Okay, but when I did that, I said that it was too close to tell. But if I had to pick, they were like all in. When we did our QB rankings, I was like, this is the tier, like tier A. I felt the same way. I was like, I don't really know who's better than who. Okay. But hey, I mean, if we want to do that, I mean, I got see this back there? Yeah, behind there, I got Excel spreadsheet of Miles' plays. We can go Luka. We can go Uzma.
Okay, this is okay.
The next Gronkowski.
Let's do this real quick with.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you want to put Tua up there as my wrong.
First of all,
then go.
I sent y'all a video of how to say his fucking name. It's not Uzama. I literally sent a video. It's Uzama, and you're still saying Uzama. That's ridiculous. Two, he's been in the league since 2015, and you fuckers are just now hearing about him. So understand, 6 years in the league, and this is the first year he's ever popped off. So forgive me for not thinking that he was going to be good. I digress. Dolphins at Bills. Bills at minus 13.5. Division game. Um, Bills, I beat the brakes off them early in this year, if I'm correct, like by 30 points, maybe I think something like that.
32.
Tua. I mean, I'll say this. Oh, I just see Cardinals. JJ Watt will undergo what is likely season-ending
No way.
surgery.
Damn.
Oh, no, wow. So Robert,
Robert.
sorry about that.
GG, Robert. Happy $15 million a year.
That is unfortunate. JJ Watt season-ending
Should have got
injury
the other lot.
surgery. That's unfortunate, honestly. Dolphins. I'm going to take Bills 13.5. I just think they're going to be an all-around better team. They're going to be shooting off all cylinders, and then they're going to be able to key on Tua and hurt him probably at some point. What about you, Al?
I probably like the Bills here. But at the same time, I also think this is like extreme upset alert. I don't know if y'all saw my text, but 21 of 21 teams that were favored more than 7.5 won the game outright. So as long as you are, favored by more than 7.5, you have won thus far. So I made a little parlay just to continue that streak, and it's kind of like all of those like 4 favorites this week. I'm probably just gonna stay away. I'm not gonna bet it, but I probably like it up to 14. But there's also another part of my head that looks at this 525 plus 525 and could be like, all right, maybe the Dolphins could sneak a win here. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna stay away. If I had to pick the spread, go Bills. But another part of my brain that's like, hey, money line, little dabble on that.
Rusty?
Yeah, on this one, I'm leaning more towards Dolphins covering. I like the way Tua has been playing lately. They definitely have him in a rhythm now, which is great to see. The Bills obviously embarrassed them, and that's not something that they would forget. So I think they do come out on all cylinders on this one. Obviously, the Bills just had a tough game against the Titans. So they're going to be kind of worn down from that game. This could be a big letdown game for the Bills. But again, I don't think the Dolphins win this game. I'm more so just looking at the line. I do like that line. And the only thing I'm going to say about what Al said, where if you're above 7.5, they were like 21-0 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas does know that, and Vegas will start inflating the higher numbered games to kind of get their money back.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas is losing a lot of money. They're going to start seeing that and being like, okay, we need to start making some changes to the numbers.
Right. I think in regards to that, what I'm also trying to say is it's bound to eventually happen, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
It's too good to be true that it's happened 21 times now. There's some point in the NFL that you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe that team lost. And that's kind of the game to me, that it's like, okay, the Dolphins played all right, like Tua looked okay, and like I don't know, maybe the Bills just like choke a divisional game or something like that.
They choke a divisional
I don't know if it's this
game and
one,
lose
but
their
I
first
just
round.
something like the next game, the fucking Jets are gonna win with fucking Mike White or whatever is their quarterback. I don't fucking know, but something weird. No, but something weird's gonna happen to where you're just like, wow, how the fuck that was. Me and Miles had a bet like 3 years ago where we had a parlay and they were like 17-point favorites and they fucking lost. I think it was like the Vikings. Do you remember what it was?
Bills. It was Vikings versus the Bills, and it was minus 14 Vikings, and the Bills beat the shit out of the Vikings.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest like margin
biggest
of
upset.
It was
win.
like Nate Peterman quarterback or something like that.
Yeah,
it was just like
stupid.
this is like it would be the same as like the Texans actually beating the Patriots that one game where they were like kind of winning, and then they like come out and win, and you're just like, what the fuck just happened? That it was kind of similar to that.
Next game, Bengals versus the Jets. I guess one of our co-hosts thinks Mike White can win this
Is that
game.
his
I don't.
name? I honestly don't even know.
Yeah, it's his name, Mike White.
Okay.
The Eagles traded away Joe Flacco to the
I don't even
Jets.
know why
Robert,
they did that.
I don't know.
They
Is
got a
that
5th-round potential draft pick for him.
like they're
Roberts.
are
Head
they
coach.
I the only thing I can see is them doing that for like teaching moments or something for like Wilson or like they're not actually going to play Flacco, are they? I just feel like they have to tank at this point. There's no fucking way they stand a chance.
Yeah, it seems like it's actually pretty stupid.
It's more draft picks is
Like
what they were
I could
looking.
see if you were like the 49ers or something and you're like, all right, like we kind of have a chance, like maybe let's just like throw a flyer at Flacco or like Washington, for example, like a team like that. But for the Jets
Yeah,
to do it is just kind of
yeah, no, that
strange.
is weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably because they just need a third string quarterback, probably. Because if Mike White gets hurt, then they probably wouldn't have anyone.
Yep.
So with that being said, 10.5 Bengals at Jets. Bengals coming off a 40-17 victory in Baltimore, which is, I'm still in shock of that happening. Of course, I love the 10.5 Bengals. I am undefeated in the Bengals picks this year. About to be 8-0. The reason why I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a blowout. I mean, we score on big plays. Like, I forgot the stat, but I forgot the stat, but yeah, we score on big plays, and so our defense
Chase,
is going to be able.
Jamar Chase has 50 receiving yards, and then 750 of them come on 80-yard catches. Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that.
Literally.
But I think our the offensive line of the Jets isn't really hot right now. Defensive line of the Jets is really, really bad. Mike White, we don't know anything about. Our defense is going to eat. We're going to beat the shit out of them. It's going to be a bad game. 10.5 Bengals easy.
Yeah, this is one of the last week. Something that kind of saved me was I was watching the Patriots Jets, and that was my lock of the week. I loved Patriots -6. But right when I saw that Wilson went down and fucking Mike White, coming at quarterback, I was like, all right, I'm live lining the Patriots right now. Like they're even gonna win harder. And I think the second half they're only like 3-point favorites or something. Like for the second half they were -3, like just for the second half, and they ended up getting like 20 more points than them or something. But I mean, I was looking at the Jets team total and it's at like 14.5. I really can't see the Jets scoring 14.5 points this game. Obviously because you can't get a half point, but yeah, I like the Bengals 10.5. That was one of the things I liked in the teaser that I made. I got it at -3, which I really can't see that them losing that. I mean, the Bengals look like they have like a top 5 defense right now. Obviously, Burrow's killing it. I don't know if they're like, right now they're like number 1 in the AFC. I don't know if they're like living up to that sort of hype, but I mean, they obviously are looking like a good team, and I think honestly, the way I look at it, it's more of an anti-Jets thing for me. And y'all know how like important quarterback is, and we're talking a guy that is a backup to a rookie that isn't even like that good right now. So I think this could be a blowout. I would predict it like 30-10, probably something like that.
I'm probably I'm going to be cocky, and I think we shut them out completely.
Right. I don't know because I feel like y'all have, like I said, a top 5 to 10 defense, and you're playing a guy that is like a rookie. I mean, I don't know anything about him, so that's enough for me to be like, okay, they're not gonna do well. So yeah, Bengals 10.5 is my play for sure.
Rusty?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Bengals. The only thing I'm going to keep reminding you about is remember the Jacksonville game where you thought, oh, this is going to be one of those games. And then,
This is different. This is different.
I understand, but the Bengals do keep it close a little bit. It seems they're one of those teams that they beat up on the really good teams, which is great, but then they have that chance where you're like, are they going to lose to a bad team? Like you don't want to see that, but I don't think there's any way the Jets even keep this close, especially with all the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I don't understand how the line is at 10.5. I feel like this line should be like 14.5. And even then, I'd probably still lean with the Bengals.
Imagine Miles
just,
looking at this line like 2 months like in the past, and he's like,
yeah.
"What the fuck happened?"
I would have taken Jets. I probably would have taken Jets.
It'd be like so like
Yeah.
fucking Alex is playing quarterback for the Jets. Like he'd be like,
No,
"What the
yeah,
fuck?"
I don't trust the Jets at all. They're going to be one of those teams like they're going to be fighting with the Texans for the worst record in the NFL. They will be that close.
Only thing I can see is if there's a weather issue, if it's like super cold or something
Tsunami.
like that. That's the only
Aliens
thing
come
I can
down.
see that can mess it up. This next game, this is probably the game that we've had the most trouble of trying to fucking understand because we don't fucking get it. Titans at Colts has Colts at negative -1.5. We just saw the Titans have two big wins, both against the Bills and then the Chiefs. Chiefs were my lock, or my lock of the week last week was Titans 5.5 over the Chiefs, and they just beat the shit out of the Chiefs, beat them up bad. Colts kind of got out of a weird game with the 49ers last week. That being said, Vegas is telling us that the Colts are winning this game. I feel like, because when I see this, if you were telling me what this line is, I'm saying -3.5 Titans. Like that's what I thought this line would be. The fact that it's -1.5 Colts, there's something fishy about it. But still, I'm just gonna trust the Titans to win outright. So I just do money line at the +105. Alex.
Yeah, right when I saw the line, I jumped at it. Titans as well. I think I got them at like money line. I don't remember what the exact thing. I think it was like -105 at the time, and then the weird people started betting on the Colts. I can't tell if Vegas knows something or there's still people like fucking Colin Gray out there being like, our Colts, man, like those people that thought that the Colts would go 12-5. Like I think they're seeing that in this team somehow, in some way. But whatever I witnessed on Sunday night does not give me any confidence in that team, like at all. Like sure, Taylor's looking good and their defense looks okay, but like they're just like a mediocre team to me. Like sure, Wentz is like a top 15 quarterback, I guess, but like the Titans are better. Like they're just better, like in all aspects. And so, yeah, I'm going Titans. Very confused. Same as Miles. This line should be at least -2 to 3 Titans here, especially what we've seen. I mean, they've beaten like two teams that we didn't think that they would, right? And I mean, the Colts
I
game.
knew they were.
Yeah, at least for me, I was against them in both games. Like I thought they would lose. So I'm still just not seeing what other people are seeing in this Colts team. So Titans.
Yeah, on this one, I actually got it. This was part of my teaser bet of the week, so I have it. I got the Colts at +1.5. I teased them up to 7.5, so they just have to keep it within 7.5. I don't understand the swing so much. Why it went into the favor of the Colts, like why they're favored now. But the main thing I'm looking at is obviously Titans come off of a pretty grueling game that they just played, obviously. You're also looking at the Colts. Jonathan Taylor's playing like a monster right now. I think he's really turning out to be amazing for that team. I don't see the Titans being that bad, but then again, at the beginning of the season when they lost two games in a row, or I think it was 2 games in a row, people started immediately jumping off of them, being like, "Look, this defense still stinks, and they are not getting Julio Jones where they need to be." So it was one of those things. I think Vegas sees that the Colts still have potential, and they may be moving the line to try to get people to also bet on the Titans more, so that more money goes towards the Titans. That could be another reason why, but I did take it. I paired it up with the we already talked about the game, but it was actually no, we have not. But I paired it with the Vikings and Cowboys game, pushing Minnesota up to 8.5 for their line to cover. But that was my tease of the week for my two matchups. But I do like it if the line's at 7.5. But if it's as close as it is right now, I'm taking the Titans at plus 1.5. Like, that makes no sense why you wouldn't take it.
Patriots at Chargers. They have it at -5 Chargers. Way. This is what I see. Pretty much, long story short, the Baltimore Ravens, the beatdown that they gave the Chargers 2 weeks ago was simply put by like a lot of analysts, so not me. A lot of analysts were pretty much sporting the fact that Justin Herbert has a lot of trouble with man blitzes. Like, if they're sitting the house, or the zero blitzes, if they're sitting in the house and they're baiting certain things, or they show blitz and they back out, and they like confusing Justin Herbert, is the reason why that defense was able to be successful against him. Baltimore Ravens, that is. In a game that I think, what do y'all remember that line? Wasn't it like
which game?
the Chargers versus Baltimore?
It was like
Chargers
three.
versus Baltimore was 3 or 3.5.
Yeah,
like that?
it was under 3.
Yeah, and so it was like, and then the Baltimore Ravens just get thrashed. The Chargers get thrashed by the Baltimore Ravens. And then you saw, we don't want to bring it back up, Bengals, Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore tries to do the same thing, zero blitzing, trying to confuse Joe Burrow. And then, little did they know, Joe Burrow's great against the blitz. If the Patriots are able to implement that same exact scheme and defense, I would like to bet that they not only cover but come out victorious in this game. Look, Mac Jones has been playing pretty good ball. I really think so. And I'll be the first one to admit, like, I did not think he was for sure not the best one out of this QB class that just came out, but he is. Like, he's playing the best. I not only like the +5, but I kind of like the money line at +185. And I don't think I'm being too harsh at all. But what do you guys think?
I'm actually the opposite of you. I thought I bet it at like -5.5, I think, and it's actually moved in your favor. So I wanted to hear an opinion on why, because I didn't really understand. I think with this, like, we're looking at like what's Brandon Staley, is that his name? Yeah. I mean, he's number 1 right now in Coach of the Year. So I'm going to assume that off of a bye week and a treacherous loss, that they're going to come out at home and beat a Patriots team that really just doesn't have much firepower. And so I would like this up to like 7, maybe 7.5. Well, probably 7, and then 7.5 I'd be kind of question marking. But I don't know. I think when it comes to the Patriots, I think they just murdered a just horrible team. And I think that's kind of the reason why people are betting them. And then the Chargers lost really bad to a team. But to me, like, I still think the Chargers are like a top 10 team. And like I said, bye week and all that. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at the under right now, and I think the under kind of looks tasty, because I think I don't know if there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. But yeah, I'm gonna ride -5. I think this is it's just kind of like a bounce back game to me. Like, getting shit on, Patriots shitting on a bad team, kind of a little overreaction. I think the Patriots get brought back to life a little bit, and the Chargers are gonna be kind of one of those teams that we start talking about it in.
Yeah, I like your analysis there, Mills. That was a good one. In regards to this one, this is a stay away game for me. I'd want it to be closer to 7 if possible, just so I could tease it. But in regards to which one I would be leaning more towards, I'm leaning more towards the Chargers, just because of the fact that the Patriots wins have been against horrible teams. They have not been against good teams. They beat the crappy ass Jets twice in a row, which is great. They beat the Texans. They did keep it close with the Bucks and with the Cowgirls, which is good to see. The other losses obviously being the Saints and then the Dolphins, and that week one games are kind of like a fluke. You don't really count it just because everybody's coming into the play. But the loss of the Saints was a little bit when they face good cornerbacks. That's kind of when you see Mac Jones struggle a little bit. I think coming off the bye week, I think the Chargers, that game they lost to the Ravens is kind of, you have those games in the season where you have good losses, and that's one that's going to be a kind of a good loss for them because it'll make it it'll humble them.
Right.
Is the main thing. So I don't see them coming out of the gates of a bye week taking this game lightly. But I do like what you said with Belichick about him rushing the QB and really giving Herbert a little issue there. I think they'll be able to move the offensive line correctly to make sure that doesn't go anywhere near what happened during the Ravens game. So I do like the Chargers on this one.
And just to go off that, we talked about the Patriots and their wins. I'm just looking it up. Chargers beat the Browns, and that was a weird game. I feel like that's a game they shouldn't have won, but they did win.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Chiefs, a team that we don't think is going to be very great. Raiders, that's a good win. Lost to the Cowboys and beat Washington by 4. So, and they got killed by the Ravens. So I feel like it's the exact same thing.
Just keep in mind the Cowboys, they played better than the Cowboys that whole game until literally the last seconds.
I mean, we were better than them in the first quarter, at least. That's where we really came ahead. But I like your analysis, Miles. But yeah, I would say that the sharp play is definitely the Patriots. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Jaguars at Seahawks. -3.5. Geno Smith at home.
You love Geno.
One thing I think of is, if I want to be a walking cliche, it would be the 12th man, Seahawks at home, Trevor Lawrence. You still don't know if the drama with the head coach and Urban Meyer is still going on. -3. I mean, still a DK. I really don't like this game at all. But
pick one, coward.
I'm just gonna go 3.5 Seahawks, just because all the games that they've been losing, they've been close. What was the Geno's played against the Steelers, almost won, and then last week it was the Saints and almost won. So I don't know. I guess -3.5 Seahawks. I hate it though.
I think the Seahawks are doing this, and the Jags are doing this. So I'm gonna ride with the Jags here, +3.5.
Was that a mound that they were going above? Just like a little.
This is like a tiny little mountain, slowly, and then the fucking Seahawks are crashing and burning, exactly how I predicted. Dude, the Seahawks have absolutely no faith in Geno Smith, and we saw that from their play calling. Dude, they were running the ball so much. I think Pete Carroll's job actually needs to be on the chopping block. Russell Wilson is carrying. As much as I fucking hate that guy, fucking talking to ghosts out there, he's literally the entire franchise. And it's showing right now. The Seahawks might be a 2-15 team without that guy at quarterback. Right, dude. Right when I saw that bet on Bovada, I fucking snapped. I was like, why is this lot? Why are they plus odds to not make the playoffs right now? This is so off. But dude, they run the ball on first, second. If they're within fucking 2 yards, they're gonna run it again. They just run the ball. Their defense is garbage. There's nothing. They're one of the worst defenses in the league, which is what they were known as when Russell Wilson first started playing for them, and then it turned into just a Russell Wilson carriage. So yeah, I think we're finally able to kind of see like Trevor Lawrence finally, um, and I think they coming off a bye week too? I think they
Hmm.
are. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the whole Urban Meyer news. I mean, y'all kind of know how my opinion on that, but like I said, I'm kind of seeing a little, upside in them now. And dude, I think they can win this. What about you, Frost?
Yeah, on this one, I'm leaning more the Jags on this one. I think we saw it all last week. They really do not trust Gino with anything. I don't understand why they don't just let him chunk the ball to their two most amazing weapons they have on the team with Metcalf and Tyler
Lockett,
Lockett.
right?
Like
That's the thing.
literally just
I don't even know if
just
it
met.
really.
Well, this is
I
what
don't
I
think it
don't
is
think
a
you're
Geno
thinking
problem
about.
like that much. Like, dude,
It's
the play calling is
it's
so bad. It's so bad, man.
what I think it is because you both brought it up with the Steelers and with the Saints. The one thing that they both have in common are great defenses. Like and also in the same breath, those are two games that they almost won.
Yeah,
And Jaguars doesn't have anything close to a defense that the Steelers and the Saints have. And so, just because I hear you guys saying it, sorry I'm cutting you off, Ross. I think what they're trying to like mitigate is like turnovers. They don't want a Geno Smith turnover to a great defense, so you got to run the ball. But Jags not having as great of a defense, I can see them having them pass a little bit more.
Hmm.
So
yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I still lean with the Jags. I think they are on an upswing. I think this could be the last win of their season for them. So I
Well, they
think the
play the Texans
Jags.
again, right?
Yeah, I think they may keep close on that one though.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
I
see what the
think
line
I
is
think
on that
they're
one.
another playing field than the Texans are.
Because Tyrod, I bet you Tyrod's back by the time that happens. So then you're
Brandon
betting
Cooks
Tyrod.
Brandon Cooks might be like on the side of the street with a fucking sign in his hand, but we'll see.
But yeah, it's really showing kind of with Pete Carroll. It's interesting to see kind of what the Seahawks will decide to do. But definitely is. I would love to see the over under on how long Russell Wilson warms up during this game beforehand. So
okay,
that would be
calm
my bet
down,
of 5 minutes probably.
calm down.
But
However
yeah,
long
I've
the
definitely.
camera's on.
Yeah, leaning the Jags on this one, but did not bet anything on this game just because I don't like both teams to begin with. So
Yeah.
All right, next one. Washington football team at Denver Broncos. I can
three
probably
shit
only.
show games in a
I
row.
think there's only going to be
There's
one
so many
person that's
shit show
actually
games,
watching
man.
this game. Like, uh, look, uh,
Oh
plus
my.
3, Washington. It has to be the play, right? Like, even though they've been losing, yeah. And I'm not saying this for I'm going to be cheering for the Broncos. I want the Broncos to beat the shit out of the Washington football team, but plus 3 Washington just has to be the play. I'm not going to bring an analysis to it. I'm just going to go plus 3.
uh, quick little thing, but the Dallas Stars just like choked 2 goals in like a minute. I bet on them, so it was just like, what the fuck. Yeah, this is one of those like early picks that I got. I got Washington at plus 4.5, and it moved down to 3. I kind of figured that we were gonna kind of see, or I don't remember exactly what happened. Maybe it was like the Broncos game or something, but um, I just thought it was too many points on the Washington side. I think these teams are like relatively equal, and I think if we're just getting like plus points for Washington, I like it. If it moved down to like 2.5, I probably wouldn't like it anymore. But once again, this is one of those like 24 to 21 games, and I just think if you get plus points with Washington, I mean, they're at least like kind of putting up a fight, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think the Broncos are just kind of not looking hot. And it kind of, my bet kind of proves it. Like all these people are, betting on Washington, moved it from 4.5 all the way to 3, which I think is more of the correct line. I think this is kind of where it should be. So yeah, I lean Washington now. I love my 4.5. Now I'm like leaning it, and then if it moved, I would start thinking otherwise. What about you, Frost?
Yeah, on this one, pretty much a dice roll for me. The only thing I'm really looking at is kind of you talked about it earlier, Mills, like being a homer, being the 12th man, and everything like that in Seattle. The altitude being the only thing since they are playing in Denver. I do like Denver's defense more than Washington's defense, but I feel like Washington has the better offensive weapons.
Hmm.
The injury reports for both teams are pretty staggering. They both have a lot of injuries. I think I would lean towards Washington. Al, you kind of said it perfectly. I think this is going to be maybe like a 25-21 game or, somewhere in the ballpark. It's really close, and it's going to come down to, maybe a field goal or who stops who on the last, drive. I like the lean defense, especially in this scenario. So I do lean more towards. Uh, Man, either one is just so bad. I I think I'd lean towards Washington. I give Jamie's team one more shot
Hmm.
to not
Last
fail
one.
me. This is the last one. Like I think I bet on them the last 2 weeks, and they're 1 for 1 right now. So they're not horrible, but Heineke still is not amazing. And just keep in mind, against the spread, they're 1-6 for Washington.
Hmm.
So not very good. Not very happy about that. So Denver's 3-4. So it's both teams are pretty bad. It's just these are bad. This weekend has a just excluding Thursday's game has horrible lineup for like games to watch this weekend. They're not
Hmm.
very good. You have
I
Sunday
mean,
night that's going
that's
to be good, but Monday night's going to be atrocious. I don't think anybody's going to watch that. And then the midday games for this weekend are horrible, like absolutely horrible.
I think. I mean, I had that kind of similar feeling as last weekend. Like, I don't know. Some of the games, I'm just like, do I even care like at all? It was like the first time that I ever kind of started thinking that way. But
Maybe you
like,
should bet them, then you'll care.
well, I did, and I still didn't care. I don't know,
I
man. Like,
was
I,
on the edge of my
I
seat for the
feel like
Seattle New
I feel
Orleans
like
game.
there's like 10 teams in the NFL that like actually matter, and then there's just like a bunch of just like mediocre crap to me. Like that's kind of how I
Oh
look
wow.
at it. Yeah.
Tampa at Saints. Um, Saints at 5.5 plus 5.5. Hmm. Vegas is saying something. Hmm. I'm gonna go Saints, and the reason I'm going Saints is because, of course, they got a good defense. They're at home. I don't trust their offense really at all that much, even though they can make plays. But I just think the Buccaneers are bound to lose more games at some point. And they play the Saints relatively close division game. Actually, I don't know. I probably would stay away from this game.
I was
I
about
don't
to say
know
I'm going to use
because
I'm going to use your own logic to kind of
like go
discredit you
Saints.
here. So
I guess. See, this is the thing. It's like the minus 5.5. Like if you told me what this line would have been, I would say like 7.5. Like that's what I would think it would be, like $7.5 or something. But I'm just gonna go 5.5 Saints. Um, maybe
So you
just
think
because I guess
Vegas just knows something?
yeah, because this doesn't make sense. It doesn't like I don't like that it's just 5.5. So
Yeah.
um, maybe I like the over at 50. I like that. But yeah, 5.5 Saints.
Yeah, I'm Bucks here. Um, I'm almost starting to think that Bucks are looking like pretty fucking good, like back to like Super Bowl contender. I was getting a little worried for them a couple weeks ago, just because their defense looks so atrocious. But man, just watching the Saints play and the fact that they couldn't even win by more than 4 points against the fucking Seahawks was kind of pathetic to me.
Thank you, Seahawks.
Do what?
Thank you, Seahawks. Covered my
Oh
spread.
yeah. That was one of the early bets that I had. But dude, I'll put it this way: Saints have a good defense. They're top five. But they're like okay, Jameis is not good, and
Hmm.
I think their offense is completely Kamara. Like
Mhm.
he's like C-Mac to the Panthers. I mean, the dude got like over 100 receiving yards for the team. They have like, and uh, I'm faulting Jameis here, but at the same time, like they just don't really have that many like offensive weapons outside of Kamara. Um, but I just love the Bucks firepower here. Like Miles is kind of saying, I think this should be like more than 7 points, and Tom Brady with a touchdown, and just kind of the way they're playing. Like I kind of said, I think they're looking more like that top five, top three kind of team that I kind of envisioned them at the beginning of the season. And I've been fading the Saints like all year. Like I'm not impressed with Jameis at all, and that's kind of how I'm looking. I'm just looking at a Jameis versus Tom Brady matchup, and I'm gonna ride with TB12 Bitcoin Frosty.
Yeah, on this one, I think they're going to have the same game plan as they did with Chicago for the Bucks. So I'm going to lean towards the Bucks on this one. What they're going to try to do is they're going to do the same thing they did with Chicago and shut down the run game and make you throw. That scares me with Jameis Winston. I think they're going to try everything in their power to make sure they have 8 people in the box and Alvin Kamara gets nothing in the flats. They're not concerned about, obviously, the mobility of Jameis Winston. So I think that makes the game a little easier for them. I think the last game was even harder for them just because of Justin Fields' mobility. But they could put 8 people in the box and not worry about him throwing because he's so bad at throwing right now. But Jameis is a hit or miss. It's a flash in the pan. You see some stuff from when he was in Bruce Arians' offense, but then the majority of the games has just been mediocre at best. Like I kind of wish Jameis would just chunk the ball down the field at least 5 more times a game where it's over 20 yards and just see those throws down the field. I don't know. Does Michael Thomas come back this week or anything like that, or
That's what
is
I was
he?
looking up. I can't see anything.
I
I
don't.
haven't heard anything.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. I think you are right. The Bucks are bound to lose a game here soon. I think they've been surprising everybody right now. It is a divisional game too, so it's even more important for them. They're playing at the Bucks. Unfortunately, the Bucks right now are 0-3 at home against the spread, so that is another thing to look at. So they're not very impressive when it comes to at the home for blowing people out or anything like that. But yeah, I'm leaning towards the Bucks on this one. I haven't taken any action on any of my bets,
Yeah, I haven't
but
either.
leaning Bucks on this.
Yeah.
All right. Cowboys at Vikings. Primetime Sunday night football. Kirk Cousins and the lights. You like that? Oh, geez, Louise. It's in Minnesota, so that's nice. Plus 2.5 Vikings. I'm gonna take the Cowboys because I have to. Their offense is just on another level. Um, Even though the Vikings offense is not bad, especially now that they have Dalvin Cook back, and then them being able to utilize Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen still doing his thing. So the over is 55, man, which is really high. I think it's something that we should look into for a teaser, maybe over. See if we can get it down a little bit. That being said, minus 2.5 Cowboys, just because I think they're probably the better team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
For me, this was kind of like a homer bet almost. I actually kind of was like leaning on picking the Vikings here. I got it at -1 Cowboys, and the lines moved all the way. I just saw these sharps picking the Cowboys. I was like, fuck it, I got to pick the Cowboys then. To me, this game definitely has upset potential for the Vikings. I mean, they're at home. They've been playing well at home. Kirk usually does well at home, but I mean, I think
Sunday night.
yeah, you kind of said it best. Like prime time, Kirk Cousins is going to come out, and I weirdly have faith in the Cowboys being better in like a primetime game than I do Kirk Cousins. I mean, I don't think this line should either way be like more than 3. But yeah, I got Cowboys winning. I'd probably give them like a 65% chance of winning, 60 to 65 probably. But yeah, I'll ride with them. Primetime Kirk, not impressive. Don't love the line for the Cowboys, but I'm a take them.
Austin?
Yeah, on this one, this was part of my teaser. So I moved. I got it at 2.5 for the Vikings and moved them up to 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
So if the line is where it's at 2.5, I'm taking Dallas, just on the straight money line. But since I did it in the teaser, I moved it up for Minnesota covering. The one thing we'll just kind of look at. Cowboys, they're the one thing I'm concerned about. Even though Diggs has gotten so many interceptions, they still give up massive passing plays.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. I think the Vikings can keep it close, and that can be the main thing I'm concerned about is the Sunday night game. Kirk Cousins is horrible in primetime games, so I'm not very confident in the Vikings. That's why I teased it up. But I do like the offensive. I feel like it's a good matchup, like between the two, because defensively, I'd give the Cowboys the edge defensively, but they offensively, even though everybody loves the Cowboys right now, Vikings have a sneaky good offense. They can still keep up with every team in the NFL, especially with Dalvin Cook, and so it's one of those things. This will be a great Sunday night game.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. After
As
watching the
long,
fucking
yeah,
sleep fest.
yeah, as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't pull a Kirk Cousins, that's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, might be worth taking the money line then, the Vikings. Next game. Not only is this going to be probably a bad game, but it is the Monday Night Football game, and it is going to be my lock of the week. I'm very, very good with my locks of the week, and I'm taking the Giants plus 9.5. Why am I taking the Giants plus 9.5? And why is it a lock? Alex, you've already said, giving the statistics, the Chiefs are going to win this game because it's over plus 7.5. So Chiefs will win. That being said, the Giants understand and see potential in the fact that they can win. Like they know that they have a chance to win, they have a shot to win, and that's the only boost I feel like they're going to need. Daniel Jones, it's even though it's crazy to say, like I, 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 I no longer see the Giants. And like when I used to see the Giants, and I say the Giants are bad, I would say because of Daniel Jones. Like that's how it always used to be to me. Like in my head, Giants are bad because of Daniel Jones, and it's not like that anymore. Like I see the Giants are bad because, lack of defensive play, their pass
Offensive
rush isn't amazing.
coordinator.
Offensive coordinator Jason Garrett is just like a baby, like a baby. But it's no longer Daniel Jones for me. So with that being said, look, the Chiefs' offensive line is getting Patrick Mahomes killed. Like seriously,
And how much money did they pay that offensive line?
it's like over $100 million that offensive line was put into, and then you have the Titans do not have a pass rush, and they were able to get to Patrick Mahomes with ease. And kind of how we went over already, Panthers versus Giants last week. Giants didn't. We were confident on Giants because they have Kadarius Toney or Sterling Shepard. So it's like, of course, Panthers win. Giants showed you they can beat up a good defense as well.
I still
Chiefs have
can't
a shitty.
believe that, dude.
Chiefs have a bad
Oh
offensive
my
line, a
god.
shitty defense. If they can play over enough to where Tyreek can't beat them with big plays, and stop up that run, dude, 9.5, easy fucking cover for the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are agreeing with you. I think the line started at like 10.5 and it's moved down to 9.5. Um, I, I I feel like I'm just gonna bet it when it comes down to Monday because I'm gonna be bored. But this is something that I would probably stray away from. But if I had to pick, I think I would go Giants here. Maybe this is kind of a teaser opportunity where you can kind of bring the Rams down to 7 and then bring the Chiefs down to like 2.5 or something like that. Because yeah, I mean, I think the Chiefs should win here. It'd be pretty bad for them if they lose. I think honestly that you could start talking that they're gonna miss the playoffs type of shit if they lose this game. Um, I think Daniel Jones is serviceable. I mean, he with how bad a lot of the quarterbacks are, he's probably in that top 20 for me already. Um, but dude, the Chiefs are probably the biggest like what the fuck is going on with this team in the NFL. Um,
Mm-hmm.
dude, like I've been betting on them even when I didn't want to, and they're still losing. Like that's how it is for me. I've felt that the lines have been low for them, and they're still choking it. So I think Giants are probably the play here. Uh, like I said, I don't love it, but it's gonna be the point where I got bored and I'm gonna be like, all right, fuck it, I need to bet on something, so I'm gonna bet on the Giants. What do you
Right.
think, Frost?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards here. I think the reason, I mean, we've already discussed it. The Chiefs have kind of been an anomaly this season. This is one of those games where they need to win. Like, there's no doubt about it. Taking a look at it, I didn't touch this one. I stayed away from it. Chiefs are very, very bad against the line or the spread right now, so I don't necessarily love them on this one. Are they playing in Kansas City?
Yeah.
That's why they're favored that
Mm-hmm.
much? Okay, I was about to say. I don't think the Giants are, as bad as people think they are. Again, Mills, you said it perfectly. I don't think this is Daniel Jones's fault. This is literally they can't get an offensive line to protect Daniel Jones, and then the Chiefs are you pay the offensive line all this money, but they can't be cohesive, and your defense is still a question mark. Like that defense for the Chiefs is
I think the Chiefs
atrocious.
have. I think the Chiefs defense is ranked 32.
Yeah, well, I think.
Seahawks
Yeah,
are
I think
probably up there too.
Washington's up there too. I think Washington's pretty bad. So it's one of those games I don't really. You'd have to tease it for me to be interested. I don't like the spread as it is, but I'm leaning the Giants on this one. I think Daniel Jones can keep it within, a touchdown somewhere in there. If you got it at 10, that's great. You may tease it up to 10, but typically the rule of thumb is push the threes and the sevens. Anything above 10 is kind of like it doesn't mathematically it doesn't really make too much sense. But yeah, I'd lean the Giants on this one.
All right. Well, that game is definitely my lock, and it's pretty much like how he said. Like the Chiefs have disappointed in a lot of ways, and I think the Giants may have like shocked people more than anything. Like, so that's my lock of the week at plus 9.5. What are y'all locks going to be for this week?
Uh,
Okay.
you want to go, Frost? I don't want to take your
Yeah,
lock.
I'll go ahead. My lock of the week is actually the Bengals. So the Bengals going against the Jets. Pretty much a depleted Jets that has absolutely nothing to play for right now. The main thing is the Bengals. I don't want them to keep this close. I want them to actually curb stomp them and win by like 21 points at least. I would bet the Steelers, but I'm 1-1 on them. Bet the Steelers on it, but just a little iso facto. The Steelers are 3-0 since 2002 against the Browns after a bye week. So just giving you a heads up on that one. So I think the Steelers will cover that. By the way, Mills, and then you'll be back. And when we come to our matchup, it'll be another good one. But yeah, I do. I do like the Bengals on that matchup. I think, like I said, I could take that up to 14, and I'd be happy. So.
Oh man, it's close. I think I'm just gonna go Titans, but I love the Titans, but yeah, there's something I just don't know. Wentz is like a fucking after his 150 passing yard performance, he's gonna throw fucking 450 yards against the Titans and
He's
fucking
going to do
win.
it.
It's funny. Me and Pear had a little prop bet that he'd get more than like 190 passing yards, and he fucking couldn't even get that. I know it was raining, but still, it's just like how the fuck. I was kind of considering Jags plus 3.5, but like I don't know if I want to put my lock on a fucking garbage team playing another garbage team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Titans I feel good with my pick.
Okay, so we got the Titans. You took the Giants, right, Mills?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm doing this on Bovada, by the way. So I'm getting the Giants plus 10, so that gives you more. I'm getting the Titans plus 1, so that's what it's at right now.
Money line
It's
it.
at 1.
Money line it.
And then it's literally the same, or it's like one. It's 110 and then 105, or the difference of 5. And then I am doing Bengals. Where are they at? Oh my goodness. What time is that game at? Oh, there it is. At 10.5. So that puts us
You could buy
at.
like half a point just to get 10 if you
Nah,
really
I'm not gonna buy it. I still like doing our straight locks. It's at plus 581. So our locks of the
Wow,
week.
that's kind of good.
Yeah, our locks of the week are at plus 581 right now. So very good. And then I believe what are we? Were we 9-3 before? So now we're 11-4. Yeah, 11-4 right now for our locks. So it's awesome. You guys are doing amazing. I've dropped the ball the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, you taking the Bengals doesn't make me very happy.
Oh, shut up! I gotta get rid of this. Get rid of my lock curse. But like I said, my other bets have been doing amazing, so I've been happy about that. But I'll put that bet in for us, obviously, and then we'll see how it turns out.
Sweet. Well, that is our Week 8 preview picks. Once again, last week I made $100 million. If you want to make $200 million, just cash app us about $50, and we'll send you our link, and we're gonna get you some money. So I don't know if you guys have anything left to say or nah.
Yeah, I think next week. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of discuss. We'll discuss the awards that will be coming up. I think that'll be a good discussion for us. We ran a little long this week, so what we'll do is we'll discuss, defensive player of the year,
Comeback player of the year,
comeback player of the year. We'll do
Prescott.
rookie of the year, even though we kind of are offensive rookie of the year. You know who that's going to be.
I don't need to do that.
Coach of the year will be kind of the most interesting that I'd like to talk about, and then
MVP.
MVP. Yeah, we can talk
Dakota
MVP.
Prescott, every award.
Stop.
Okay.
And so we'll go ahead and talk about that, and obviously, kind of what qualifies the comeback player of the year is because I guess Dak Prescott would be considered a comeback.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's considered. It's an injury
It's gonna
related.
be him or Burrow probably.
Yeah, I think those will be the two kind of key front runners for that, and obviously, I think Burrow is kind of gaining steam towards MVP actually, which is something you never want to say as being a Steelers fan. So hope he tears his ACL against the Steelers. Can't wait for it. I'm so excited. And then the Steelers get to take the first place in that division because the Browns obviously are shit, and then the Ravens they just get hurt.
Big Ben is just fucking great.
Big Ben taking me back to the promised land.
Well, I hope that is true. So that is Week 8. Thank you guys for coming by. Thanks for the picks. Hopefully we can make $1 billion this week. See you guys next week.